Welcome back to the Blue Wave Sports Show. Okay, so let's kick it off with some NFL news. Two huge games this week. Colts, Broncos. I know Pierce is just gloating over here. I can just sense it already, so I'll go ahead and let you start.
All right. I'm going to put this out right now. Andrew Luck out Peyton Manning. He was a surgical master that entire game, just dinking and dunking to everyone. No one had more than 11 targets. Reggie Wayne only had 5 receptions for 50 yards. His good buddy Coby Fleener had only 5 for 38, but he had a touchdown. He was throwing the ball all over the place, and he played a very complete game, 228 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also ran for a touchdown, too.
Yeah,
So,
I was just about to add, let's not forget about Luck's rushing ability.
yeah.
Something he has over Peyton Manning, does he not?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. Well, I tell you, I picked the Broncos last week on the show, but wow, the Colts really just stuck with their guns here. I mean, they were just not going to allow that win to happen for Peyton in his little homecoming. I mean, you guys saw with him addressing the crowd and everything, really emotional for him in the beginning, but it wasn't enough at the end of the day. The Colts defense really stepped up with their 4-man rush and everything, I got to say. But overall, just to point out there, okay, we've been looking at past games and stuff, the 51-48 win against the Cowboys. The Denver's pass defense is not very good at all. At all. Yes, Champ Bailey's back there. What have you seen this season?
Yeah.
He actually got hurt again.
Where was he?
He actually got hurt again.
Oh, he did?
Yep, hurt his foot.
Well, Reggie Wayne is also now out for the year.
I still think they're balancing up. I think Hayward Bay showed he can step up.
Oh, they definitely got weapons.
Hayward Bay, I think, can step up and possibly help Hilton take the place of Reggie Wayne. They have just so much depth, and I think they'll be fine in the end.
Pierce, as a Colts fan, what's your take on Trent Richardson at this point in the season right now?
He's okay. He's nothing special right now. I think he needs time to get acclimated to the offense because an offense with Andrew Luck, I feel like, is an offense with Peyton Manning because there's so many like checks, audibles, things you have to know, the route tree, where the blocks, where to go on runs. It's just a lot to know. I say give him some time.
Yeah, but hang on real quick. How do you audible this? 14 rushes for 38 yards. You're the number 3 draft pick coming out of college. The Browns, we all know about the trade that happened over to Indianapolis. I mean, this guy, he got stuffed on 3rd and 1 in particular. I mean, I just don't think this guy is that good.
I think he can be okay. He won't be the franchise runner that everyone thought he would be, but he can stick around for like a nice 8-9 year career and have some help behind him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's not forget the fact that this was in Indianapolis. I say if this game was in Denver, Peyton would have won, no question. I know you are a huge Broncos fan, so I'm sure you have so much to say about this one.
It was a tough loss. I mean, the Colts outplayed the Broncos this game. But let's not forget that on a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line, Rodney Hillman, who has fumbling issues, they do a running play with him and he fumbles. I mean, and the Colts get it, and that was a huge opportunity for us to make a comeback. I mean, we only lost by 6 points, so it was a close game. We had 12 penalties for 103 yards, 3 turnovers. For me personally, when I looked at that defense, I saw that they didn't play like an elite defense, but they played better than they've been playing this season. And because, I mean, the Colts had so many drives in opponent's territory that led to points. And I saw they were able to hold the Colts 5 for 17 on 3rd downs. That's under 30%, and on 3rd down conversions. So, but
I keep telling you, but the Denver defense is not very good.
Yeah, I think that this game really highlighted that. And I mean, when you're going up against someone like Andrew Luck, your defense has to step up because what happened in the game, Peyton cannot do it all, and you need defense wins games. And so hopefully they'll go back to the drawing board. And next week they'll get it together and hopefully get another win.
You just sparked a flare with me, Taylor. Speaking of defense wins championships, the Chiefs are now 7-0. Now we have talked about Alex Smith, and yes, I still stay to the point he's not a great quarterback by any means. He had that little cute rushing touchdown that's being featured on ESPN. Not a real big deal. It's kind of a flop play, really. But I tell you what, the Chiefs are looking. I can't take it away, guys. I can't take it away.
I mean, 7-0. I mean, every week it seems like we talk about them. We say, "Oh, well, they have a cakewalk of a schedule," but as time goes on, they're still undefeated. I mean, I don't think anyone could have predicted this. I'm just as shocked as I feel like probably half their fans are.
Yeah, what's your guys' takes on this?
It's shocking that they are 7-0, but let's put this out there. They're not blowing teams away like Denver is. They barely beat Oakland. Terrell Pryor throws 3 picks and fumbles. They barely beat Houston as a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, this win wasn't exactly, you can't compare this to,
they've
say,
all
the
been
Colts
close games. They've all been close games, and they've played the same schedule as Denver, basically.
And I mean, they played Oakland in Kansas City. They played Houston in Kansas City. Their home stadium is supposed to be the loudest place ever, and they can barely get the win. And I mean, it's going to hurt them when they have to travel because this team, yes, they have a great defense, probably one of the best defenses in the league right now. But this offense, I mean, they can't move the football. So they need to establish some way to move the football, or else I just don't see them making it to like the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl with this offense.
Yeah, their defense hasn't really had to stop a huge powerhouse offense, so that will be interesting to see when it comes time, especially like you mentioned, when they're on the road, will they be able to step up? But, I mean, they've proven me wrong, 7-0. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, it is, I gotta say. Andrew, what's going to happen when they play the Broncos here? They still got to play them 2 times before the season's over.
Well,
What's your take on that?
in Denver, I think Denver can take care of them in Denver because we have the offense that I think can score enough points, and we have one of the best run defense in the league. Now, granted, teams have to pass later in games because of how we're scoring, but our lowest score right now is 33 points. So I think we can score to beat the Chiefs. I'm a little nervous about going to Arrowhead Stadium because they're going to be going crazy in there. So I don't know about that game. I think Denver's going to win that, but it could be either way.
Well, Andrew, I'll just put this out there. I feel it'll be one for each team. Kansas City will win when they're at home against the Broncos, and the Broncos will win at home when they're at home.
Yeah,
That's
I
how it
agree
goes.
with that, yeah. So let's talk about Geno Smith and the Jets upsetting the Patriots. I'm kind of starting to become a believer of this team. What is y'all's take on this?
Well, for me, I mean, the one way to beat the Patriots is to not have Tom Brady on the field. And I mean, the Jets had a total possession of 46 minutes. It's compared to the Patriots that only had 23 minutes. That sounds like a recipe for success for me. And then they sacked Tom Brady 4 times. So.
Hey, I'll throw this out there, Andrew. Something my high school coach used to always say: he cannot throw for touchdowns, referencing the quarterback here, when he's on his butt. So, I mean, when you're sacking Tom Brady and he's not even got the time of possession to have the ball in his hands and make something happen, that's how you beat the Patriots. And I'll tell you what, Taylor, you brought up the subject. I got a little bit respect for the Jets now. I mean, what can you say? What can you say? They're right there now, tied at AFC East for number 1. I don't know, guys. I mean, Geno Smith, he's getting the job done.
Yeah.
He really is getting the job done. I was always a believer of Geno Smith. He had 233 yards and a touchdown, carried the ball 6 times for 32 yards and a touchdown. He can do it all. He has the makings, I think, of a franchise quarterback. But the Patriots are still up in the game. They're up 1 game, actually.
Okay.
But the Patriots are vulnerable, I think, because they can't really stop anyone. The defense, I think, is very overrated. Wilfork's out. Gerard Mayo's now out. And Brady's just off right now. He was so locked on Gronkowski. It was ridiculous. He was targeted 17 times, and no one else had more than 7. You can't be just that locked on one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this isn't like the Patriots have been horrible. Thus far, they've had a very good season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for the Jets to do this says a lot about the Jets.
Exactly.
But back to the Patriots, who have they beaten, though?
Well, hang on now. They beat New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
other than that.
But that was
That was a very good
I
win.
mean, for me, that really showed me that don't count them out just yet.
Well, one of you may laugh at this, but they did beat Atlanta at Atlanta early in the season on national television at the night. You know what I mean?
Not quite the Saints,
No.
but still a little pressure.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's a lot. It's very interesting seeing the things that are taking place. Let's just, for giggles, let's just say our Super Bowl pick right now. Who,
All right,
does anyone have someone in mind?
Super Bowl matchup here. Let me think. I'm gonna go on just pure emotion here. Okay, Indianapolis versus either Seattle or San Francisco. I can't pick between those two.
I'm going to Indy versus Seattle. Indy's just on a roll right now. They have the best resume in football. They actually have already beaten Seattle and San Francisco.
Yeah, they have.
So they have confidence going up against either one of those, and I now think Andrew Luck will be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year.
Ooh.
I gotta stick with my early prediction. I still think it's gonna be Denver, Seattle. I think there's plenty of time for Denver to sort whatever they need to figure out left in the season. And I mean, this offense, even in that Colts game, they scored 33 points. So I think, especially when they go, if it's at home against Indianapolis, they're gonna beat Indianapolis. So I think it's going to be Denver versus Seattle, and I'm going to stick with Denver.
I agree. I'm going to stick with my guns. I picked Denver early on. I'm still impressed by them. Sometimes I think it's good not being undefeated. I think they can learn a lot from this loss. And like you said, if it's at Denver, the Mile High City, I think that they're going to get the win. So
Well, who do you
we'll
pick?
have to see.
Who do you pick from the NFC side though to play Denver in the Super Bowl?
I like the Seahawks. I think they have a really good defense. So I just don't see anyone else being able.
Maybe the Saints.
If
San
possibly
Francisco.
the Saints. I don't think San Francisco. I'm going to go ahead and count them out. But we'll see.
Hey, also back to your point about playing at home. I don't think any stage is too big for Andrew Luck because he actually leads the NFL with fourth quarter comebacks with 9 in his first year and a half as a starter. So I would still trust him going into Denver and possibly getting the win.
Something that impressed me so much, just this particular win, just because of where it was at, when he beat and soundly beat the 49ers in Candlestick on a 4-15 game on national television, that pretty much, that really sealed a lot of confidence for me.
Well, we're divided down the middle here.
Yeah, we
Team
are.
Luck,
Oh, yeah.
Team Manning. We'll see how it turns out. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
All right, cool. Let's flip this table real quick and get a second. So I know you gotta get out here. Keep your mic. Just put it on the floor.